Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm here with Shaykh Yasir Qadhi. I wanted to ask him a few questions about Ilmfest.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
How are you
salam.
doing, Mobeen?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How are you liking the event?
That's very nice. How about yourself?
Alhamdulillah. You're supposed to be interviewing me. So. Okay.
The first question, I guess a lot of people have been asking me, what is Ilmfest?
Okay, well, Ilmfest is a part of an annual vision of Al-Maghrib Institute, where we get together all of our instructors, and we have a series of lectures that inshallah ta'ala it shows the nature of Al-Maghrib Institute. It's not going to be like your traditional conferences. It's not going to be like your standard lectures that you hear in khutab and durus. Rather, we're going to talk about issues that are very rarely, if in fact never heard from, generally speaking, Islamic activists. And that's to show that we are an organization that wants to teach you knowledge that is practical and beneficial right here and now. It's not just all theory. It's something that will make you understand your situation better. It's a little bit of politics, a little bit of spirituality, a little bit of adab, a little bit of fiqh, a little bit of akhlaq, everything combined in one. And each and every instructor is coming with topics that are, inshallah, a cut above the rest. We're trying to show that we are indeed at the cutting edge of Islamic academics, and I think that Al-Maghrib, alhamdulillah, by the blessings of Allah, has established its reputation in this regard. So, for example, some of the topics that will be discussed, World War I and its effects on the formation of the modern ummah. We're going to talk about the Shaykh Yasir Qadhi will be discussing the 500-year anniversary of the expulsion of the Muslims from Andalus, and what we can learn from that, what happened in Andalus and how we can benefit from the struggles and the trials and tribulations that the Muslims in Andalus suffered. Also, Shaykh Abdul Bari Yahya will be talking about problems that are facing American youth that he deals with. He's into counseling, he's doing a lot of stuff. Other instructors talking about marriage issues, respect with parents, how do we differ with our parents while maintaining the ties of the Islamic bonds of respect that their parents would do. So I believe that Ilmfest, inshallah ta'ala, is indicative really of the vision that Al-Maghrib Institute has for Islamic academics, and that is a vision that incorporates our real-life status quo American identity with the orthodox classical tradition of Islam. And alhamdulillah, we already had a number of successful, well, the first official Ilmfest was in New York, but we had precursors to Ilmfest in Chicago and in other places, and each and every one of those, it gave forth a number of lectures and series that are greatly appreciated by the viewers and listeners, and the goal is to have them recorded and to placed on YouTube and disseminated as far and wide as possible, inshallah ta'ala.
So a lot of people who haven't been to Ilmfest before, their idea of it is that it's just like a one-weekend seminar of an Al-Maghrib class, just with different shuyukh teaching the same subject. It really isn't like that based on what you said, right?
Not at all, because of course there's a really broad theme, and that is Generation Islam. Generation Islam is going to be the theme of this year's Ilmfest 2009 in Baltimore, Maryland. And it's a really broad theme. Of course, the whole point is to talk about very different topics that all are incorporated under our Muslim identity here in the West. So it's not going to be like an intensive class on theology or on aqidah or on fiqh or on adab. Rather, it's going to be, like I said, a mix, a collage of different topics that each and every instructor will bring forth, that, as I said, they're a cut above the rest. We don't want to be, there are so many conferences, there are so many institutes that are doing that. Alhamdulillah, it's good, let them do that. We don't want to imitate, we don't want to do the same thing, we don't want to do the same run-of-the-mill lectures that you hear in the khutab and the durus. Those have to be up and running, you always have to hear those. But Ilmfest is meant to show an academic spirituality, an orthodoxy that is situated in the modern context. It's supposed to show, inshallah ta'ala, the vision of Al-Maghrib, and that's, I think it's really fulfilling its goal so far.
Okay, so for the speakers that are going to be coming from Ilmfest, are we just looking at the Al-Maghrib instructors? Are all of the Al-Maghrib instructors coming? Is there anyone on the outside that's going to be attending?
No, of course not, because Ilmfest is not meant to be only an Al-Maghrib event. Of course, it's sponsored by Al-Maghrib, and most of our instructors, those who are able to come, obviously people have other engagement, but as many as we can. This year we have myself, inshallah, and Shaykh Walid Basuni, Shaykh Yasir Qadhi, Shaykh Riyad, we have Shaykh Muhammad Faqih, Shaykh Abdul Bari Yahya. We have other instructors coming as well. But it's not just an Al-Maghrib instructors event. We're inviting also other speakers as well. We're already talking to, I don't want to mention names, we haven't confirmed yet, but we're talking to other national speakers as well, and they're trying to fit in their commitments. And alhamdulillah, the good news is that we've also reached out to not just your traditional Islamic speakers, but also political activists. And this year, alhamdulillah, we're even getting comedians. So we have, in the political activism side, we have Sister Dalia Mughal, Mujahid, who is the presidential appointee to the Interfaith Council, and she's very much involved with getting Muslims involved in their civic duties. And I've met her a number of times, and she's a very passionate and dedicated individual. And I'm really proud that she's going to be coming to Ilmfest and telling us about her projects and how we can contribute to have a better image of Islam in this country, and also to do things really not just for our image, but genuinely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following the footsteps of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, we have this year Baba Ali, the famous comedian, who's mashallah, his YouTube channel is one of the most popular channels, and he's definitely a very, very funny comedian, and also actually is a really, really friendly person to meet. I've had the pleasure and honor of traveling with him and going overseas with him and you know, spending a lot of time with him. And wallah, he's a genuine friend. He's a really nice, down-to-earth guy. He's sincere about knowledge and about Islamic activism. So alhamdulillah, Baba Ali is also confirmed. And this is just the beginning. We're still reaching out to other people, but it's not just Al-Maghrib instructors.
Yeah, so I guess one of the last questions we'll ask, and then we'll let you know where you can learn more about Ilmfest, inshallah. The last question I wanted to ask is a long-term vision for Ilmfest. Where do we see it going in the next couple of years? Is it going to stay one location? It's going to be traveling every year? What's the deal?
Ilmfest is always meant to be a different city event every single time it takes place. It's meant to introduce Al-Maghrib's vision to various communities. It's meant to show people what Al-Maghrib is all about. And so, like one year we had it in Chicago, one year we had it in New York, this year we're having it in Baltimore, Maryland, and inshallah next year we'll have it in other places. The long-term vision really is to be a mini beacon of light, if you like, for the broader Al-Maghrib Institute's vision. And the broader vision of the Maghrib Institute is really to reorganize Islamic academics in North America, to raise the bar such that inshallah it's lost in the clouds. We want our American Muslims to know their religion inside out, to feel proud to be Muslim and be where they are and be productive citizens and be basically they don't have an identity crisis. You know, we need to teach them who they are, what to believe in, how to act and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their history, the akhlaq, the etiquette, the whole 9 yards. We hope to do everything, and of course inshallah we also want to open up a university and everything. It's all in the works inshallah. So Ilmfest is simply one piece of the puzzle. It's simply one of the ways that we manifest our vision of Islamic academics, and alhamdulillah, as I said, so far has been very successful, and I hope that the future years bring even greater successes.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh Yasir. People want to learn more about Ilmfest, they can go on www.ilmfest.com, ilmfest, ilmfest.com. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.